From Joshua Tree Elementary School, this is the Owl's Hoot.
Welcome to the final Owl's Hoot of this school year. This month, we owlets celebrate science.
If this show is about science, then what is a Wookiee doing here?
Because he wanted to come, and you don't say no to a Wookiee if you know it's good for you.
Did someone just say cookie? Where are they? I'm hungry.
Not cookie, Wookiee.
Where do you want me to Wookiee, Lookie?
Kirk's Enterprise, ready to beam up.
Dr. Freud, you dedicated your life to the field of psychiatry.
Yes, and speaking of cookies,
Yes, Dr. Freud?
I cannot tell you who stole a cookie from the cookie jar, but I could tell you why he or she did it. The underlying motivation behind the cookie theft.
Well, that's very interesting, Dr. Freud, but not very helpful when one is hungry.
Bingo! You're right. It's something I call cookie envy, in which one wants the cookie that one does not have. The cookie becomes a great object of desire.
So, you're saying the cookie represents something buried deep in our psyche?
Yes. Then again, sometimes a cookie is just a cookie.
The word science comes from a Latin word, scientia, which means knowledge.
Specifically, knowledge about the universe and how it works in an orderly way, the rules.
Science is all about looking at the world and asking questions.
Like, why do people listen to Justin Bieber songs?
Not that kind of question.
But that question perfectly fits my theory of relativity. How time is measured depends on the perspective of an observer. For example, for fans with Bieber fever listening to one of his songs, time passes quickly and pleasantly. But for those with musical taste, time feels like an eternity.
And now, we'd like to introduce the scientific genius who invented the first reflecting telescope, calculus, explained gravity and the 3 laws of motion, and experimented on his own eyeballs to learn about light, color, and optics, Sir Isaac Newton.
If I have seen further than other people, it is by standing upon the shoulders of giants. But weren't people shorter back then?
He means that he built his discoveries on the research of scientists that came before him.
Newton didn't start off at square one. He studied the writings and research of Democritus, Copernicus, Galileo, and Anaxagoras, to name a few. Owlets, Sir Isaac Newton.
Why does this apple fall on my head? Why does it not fly into the sky? This apple fell to the ground. There must be a force behind it that makes it go to the ground. I shall call it gravity. Eureka! I discovered gravity! Hello, I'm Isaac Newton, the smartest genius of my time. I invented calculus, which you will learn in high school. I also discovered 3 laws of motion. The first law of motion, an object at rest will remain at rest until a force moves it. Move, car, move. Do something. See? It won't move when I tell it to. But if I push it, it moves. Today, we will be demonstrating the first law of motion. One object will not move if it is at rest unless something like air or a pushing force moves it. We will demonstrate the first law of motion with air. To your battle stations! My third law of motion: to every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. I had to take my wig off for this. It was making my head itch. My second law of motion is a bit complex. So if you want to know about that one, you have to read the book. Tally ho! Thanks for joining me. Do you know who discovered that the sun is the center of our Milky Way galaxy?
Copernicus first discovered it, and Galileo confirmed it. The Earth and all the planets orbit the sun.
And our Milky Way galaxy is just one of the many galaxies. In fact, our sun is just a medium-sized ball of gas.
It's hard to imagine space full of galaxies which are full of stars, each with planets and moons circling.
Not to mention black holes, which suck everything into them, including light.
That's scary.
Yeah, I do not want to get sucked into a black hole.
Oh, I do, and so do all my friends.
And now an ode to our sun, sung by a special guest star, Adele.
Hello, is there anybody out there? Other carbon-based life forms? Or are we all alone? Look up here, beyond the atmosphere. A giant shining star, to us it's very dear. Listen, I'll give you information first. Just some basic facts about our universe. The sun's the center of our galaxy, the source of all life here on Earth. Sunlight moves in particles and waves. Our ozone layer blocks the unsafe rays. We need the sun to give us heat and light, and solar flares can be an awesome sight. The sun is 93 million miles away, yet close enough to spark life from Earth's clay. Incredible yet real. Our sun keeps us all comfortably warm. Our sun keeps us all comfortably warm.
Thank you, Adele, for that lovely song honoring our sun.
Next up, kid inventor Philo Farnsworth, who got his idea for the TV when he was only 14 years old.
That's right, kids. Although the idea of television was out there, no one could figure out how to send pictures through the air.
Hey, you know me? I'm Philo Farnsworth, the kid who invented the TV. That's right, I always get that. You're just a kid. How could you invent the TV? But it's true. I, Philo Farnsworth, moi, the great, magnificent, the super genius, the humble me. invented the TV. Some people had the idea of sending pictures of people and things over long distances like the telephone did with sounds. But no one could figure out how exactly to do it. I was determined to make TV possible. How did I get my idea? I'll show you. I had just finished plowing my potato fields, and I looked over all the rows, and the sun was shining all along my rows, and I thought, that would be a great idea for TV. Then it hit me. By breaking up the pictures into little streams of light, and then the TV screen would reconstruct them to trick the person's mind into thinking that it was one whole picture. See? I'm a genius! By the way, I was only 14 years old, so you could do this yourself. Hi, I'm Keegan, aka Philo Farnsworth, and I want to tell you about when I was at school. The car back then was the Ford Model T, and it was very easy to steal. So for a science fair, I invented an ignition lock, which made it very hard to steal. And I won the science fair! Woohoo! But was I always successful? No, I wasn't. First time I made the TV, I forgot a very critical piece. When I turned it on, boom! All that work and money, it was gone. But I didn't give up. A year later, I presented it, and it worked. So if you ever wonder who created the TV, it was I, 14-year-old Philo Farnsworth.
So we can thank Philo Farnsworth for our couch potato TV lifestyle?
Did anyone say potato, as in potato chip?
No, we are discussing Philo Farnsworth, who got his idea for building a TV from his potato fields,
thus paving the way for George Crumb, the inventor of the potato chip.
The inventor of the potato chip's name was Crumb? Are you kidding me? That's what potato chips end up as in my couch.
Truth is indeed stranger than fiction.
And now, let's celebrate Sir Isaac Newton's laws of motion.
Newton's law of motion.
Newton's laws of motion. We're demonstrating Isaac Newton's motion of love. Laws of motion.
And now for a kid inventor close to our owl burrow, Keegan and his modified Nerf dart gun.
Today I will be showing you how to make a modified Nerf dart. First, you take the top out of a streamlined dart, then you cut this in half. Then you take an ordinary straw and fray the ends, and then cut it into smaller pieces as big as the body. Then you put the frayed end of the dart onto the little tube, and then you stick the straw into the body. Should work. Today I'll be shooting my Nerf gun. The first bullet is my modified dart. Now, this is the original bullet. See, it doesn't hit the board. Alright, this one's the modified one. Bullseye. Original one. Doesn't even hit the target. as you can see, by modifying the dart, it gives it more accuracy and it makes it faster. I am Keegan Fiery and I love modifying darts.
Next up, what do Sir Isaac Newton, Leonardo Da Vinci, Charles Darwin, Marie Curie, Sigmund Freud, and Albert Einstein have in common?
They're considered giants in their scientific fields.
That's right. They are joining us today to introduce themselves to you, Alex.
Look at us, the super famous, brilliant minds of science. During our lives, we were mesmerized by the natural world around us. Back in our day, science was play, though some dismissed us as weird. There wasn't a rule to send kids to school, but we six all persevered. Aye, 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 aye. We are the great brains of science. Each in our field was considered the best, though I've been neglected, which makes me depressed. Aye, 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 aye. We are the giants in science. We did so much good for the whole human race. Without us, you never would have made it to space. Yes, I had a really sad, miserable childhood and school days. My mother left home, leaving me alone to study science in my own way. I explained gravitation laws of planets and stars in the Milky Way galaxy. My reflecting telescope gave astronomers hope to see outer space clearly. Aye, 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 aye. Newton's a giant of science. He made many important discoveries on motion, light, and gravity. Aye, 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 aye. We are the giants in science. Each in our field was considered the best. If we were not certain, we made a smart guess. Most of you mastered one or two, but I was master of many. Though I'm known for my art, that's only a part of subjects I got to know plenty. Astronomy, botany, geology, architecture, technology. My artistry in human anatomy is known for its balance and beauty. Aye, 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 aye. Da Vinci had super abilities. Nature was his laboratory, and his paintings are seen in many cities. The natural world, how it's unfurled, captured my imagination. The origin of species, nature's diversity, I recorded every variation. I wanted to solve how things evolve and explain to my generation. My insect collection showed natural selection through genetic mutation. Aye, 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 aye. Darwin's a great brain of science. He gathered lots of evidence of evolution of species that made lots of sense. Aye, 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 aye. We are the giants of science. We all have our place in history, although my theory still causes controversy. I wanted to be famous in psychiatry, so I coined a lot of new phrases. Words ending in O, like ego and libido, to explain why most people are crazies. It gives me delight to share my insights on why you're feeling so blue. If you want to know what's in your superego, I'd be happy to psychoanalyze you. Ay, Freud is a giant of science. He started a treatment called talk therapy. He proclaimed that anatomy is destiny. But what if you're a transgender? She smiles so mysteriously. Is it because she is a he? When I began my scientific plan, when women were not allowed in sciences, I worked hard all my life, encountered much strife, but was awarded 2 Nobel Prizes. Ay. Marie Curie's a giant of science. She discovered radioactivity used for medical technology. I wasn't good in class, didn't do well in math. Teacher thought I was a bit of a dunce. But I was aware E equals MC squared, although it was just a hunch. My theories of relativity and photoelectricity caused a great sensation and blew away all we thought was true about planetary gravitation. Ay. Einstein's a genius of science. His theories of relativity explain how mass acts like energy. Ay. We are the giants of science. We did so much good for the whole human race. Come on, Alex! Take our place.
I warped in all the way from the Andromeda Galaxy, fighting Klingons back and forth just to see One Direction. We sent Special Reporter Savannah to get the scoop on One Direction. And Liam.
Hi, we're 1D and you're not!
Have you ever wondered why One Direction is called One Direction?
Well, yes, I have. Yesterday, I was actually thinking about that. And then I looked up some pictures on the internet. And then I realized their hair goes one direction, except for Zayn's. He better be careful, or else they're gonna go Britney on him. Like they did with Louis. Louis's hair, it's all gone. And Zayn would not look pretty with no hair.
Oh, I'd be mighty scared if I was him.
I know, me too. I would die without my hair.
Me as well.
We're 1D!
Thank you for that fascinating report. Now I can sleep at night.
Me too.
Now time for the Harlem Shake!
Con los terroristas.
The Harlem Shake.
That's our show, outlets! Thanks for watching! Have a nice spring break!
Kirk Enterprise, 5 to beam up.